Lords of the Fallen is a third-person action RPG bearing many similarities to the Souls series. The main differences lie in the persistence and reuse of the world, the loading screens between certain areas, and the fact that this game does not support multiplayer of any kind. So right off the bat, the gameplay is golden. This is the only game of this type in which I was capable of using a keyboard and mouse to play. The movement of the camera, which seems a bit meant for a controller, is a little off-putting every time I start up the game, but as I actually begin playing, I get used to it very quickly, so it's not really that big of a con. The actual action and fighting of this game is very fluid and very fun. The lock-on mechanic for me sometimes seemed to mess up, and I couldn't scroll between enemies. I don't know if that was my fault or if the game had some sort of issue with that, but it's good to note. What story there is in Lords of the Fallen is sparse, but refreshing. This game allows for far more story than any of the Souls games have. This helps to give you the motivation to keep trudging onwards against the increasing difficulty the game throws at you. It allows you to make some choices as well and gives you dialogue options in a very RPG-like manner that I did not expect coming from the Souls series. Definitely a plus, and this game can be very difficult when you're first learning the enemies. There were a few regular enemies I found that kept killing me, and finally being able to kill them was a huge turning point and always gave me a sense of accomplishment. This game is also packed full with lore you can find spread throughout the world in the form of audio recordings, which is always a nice touch. The boss fights in this game are intense, difficult, and long-lasting depending on your playstyle and whether or not you actually research the bosses beforehand online, which I did not do. Some of the bosses have some pretty nasty tricks that you will not be prepared for in this case, though. Either way, I haven't played a game with such engaging boss fights in quite a while. This game can really surprise you too. You can be walking through an area where you already killed one boss and then boom! Another one jumps out at you. And this game has a lot of bosses in it. In fact, it even reuses the first boss as a regular enemy later on in the game. The first time I saw that, I was completely not expecting it, and I got my ass handed to me as a result. Of course, once you realize what you're up against, you can face it again and win, but that's part of the fun of this game, is learning and adapting after failing, getting better with every attempt. This game also has a very intricate level design that I really enjoyed too. Everything is connected. My favorite part was how in the first 15 minutes, you get to watch someone go flying through a door just before a boss fight, and then 7 hours later, you unknowingly walk through the same doors from the other side to go face a mini-boss. The graphics of this game are absolutely gorgeous for 2014 and still damn good for today. My only complaint in this department is the animations. Some of the ways characters move around as they talk to you it's extremely silly, and when you pair it with some of the extreme failure that is lip syncing in this game, then watching someone talk can be the most entertaining part of the first 10 minutes of the game.
The Rogar got you good.
I didn't let you out of prison to worry about me.
I will try to spare you the inconvenience of my death.
The Rogar have clearly breached the walls of the monastery, and Tanis would have given his life to protect his people.
Unfortunately, this game has a lot of glaring issues that stop it from being Game of the Year material, in my opinion. The biggest issue? Bugs. Visual bugs. skills not doing what they say they're supposed to. For example, this one rogue skill that lets you go invisible, but unless you use it before combat starts, the enemies will still know where you are, which makes no sense. Hitbox bugs, which cause your attacks or your skill attacks to miss even though it looks like they should be hitting. Strange, unexplainable bugs. And finally, the worst of them all, crashes. All of this may have made me rage for a little bit and refuse to play the game for the rest of the day, but the game was just so damn good that I had to keep coming back the following day after any of this happened. Then there's the fact that just like a Souls game, this one refuses to even slightly guide you through it. Even slightly. Just got 5 new side quests after fighting a boss? All you have to go on is the very vague directions the NPCs gave you. I had to search in Google how to solve almost every side quest in the game. The game also doesn't let you keep track of side quests, so make sure you're paying attention to the dialogue or you're writing things down. But then again, there are also some side quests that are as simple as finding some flint and using it to light a fire, no dialogue included. Seriously, that's a side quest. I don't know where I got the flint, but I got like 1,000 experience for completing a side quest once I lit a fire with it. And then I got attacked. The lack of any form of competitive or cooperative play in Lords of the Fallen kind of fits in with the design of the levels, which can be very narrow. But combined with the lack of any friendly NPC companions to help you in any of the fights or anything really, this game's world can feel very lonely and very empty. This does help put you in a very survivalist mindset though, knowing that everything you could find is against you. I do wish they had given you something to make the world feel less empty though. Even the generic NPCs that you find standing around that are supposed to be friendly refuse to fight enemies that are right next to them, even if the whole point is that they're supposed to be fighting them. Overall though, I really did like Lords of the Fallen, despite the issues that it did have. But to have so many bugs rampant in your game 2.5 years after your release is laughable. Lords of the Fallen gets a 7 out of 10 from me. It's a good game, but far from perfect. It's buggy. It requires many Google searches to make sure you don't miss anything. But it's still fun, and New Game Plus and the following mode add plenty of new things to the game to give it 2 more playthroughs of playability. I definitely recommend it at full price if you enjoy these kinds of games and enjoy doing New Game Plus as well. A half-price sale is good enough if you just want it for 1 playthrough, but do make sure you can be tolerant of the game's flaws as I've listed them. If you liked this video, then please hit that subscribe button. It will help you find more reviews and gaming content here at Konglomerat. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.